Hi, hello, and welcome back to F1 Challenge Career Mode. My name is Mephisto, and today we're heading off to Germany for round 12 of the 2003 Formula 1 season. Let's get started.
Located near the historic city of Heidelberg, the high-speed Hockenheim circuit consists of two very distinct sections. The outer section that runs through the sprawling pine forests combines huge straights with fast chicanes, whilst the technical stadium section consists almost entirely of slow corners. Originally built as a test track for Mercedes cars, this is the fastest circuit on the Formula One season.
We start off with qualifying, where as you can probably tell, it's raining. Interestingly though, I managed to set the fastest time through Sector 2, and that is a 1:27.385, which is quite a decent lap time. Bonus footage, here's what happened once I returned to the pits. I always find it amusing when the AI screws up in the pits.
Hello there. Welcome to Germany. And the weather forecast for today? Well, unpredictable is all that can be said. It could improve, or it could just as easily worsen. Raikkonen first. David Coulthard second. Michael Schumacher third. Montoya fourth. Jenson Button fifth. The Toyota driver performed brilliantly in qualifying to line up sixth. Cristiano D'Amata couldn't quite match the pace of his teammate. He starts seventh. Schumacher eighth. Nick Heidfeld ninth. Mark Webber 10th. Fernando Alonso failed to get anywhere near the pace of his championship rival. He starts in 11th. Heinz-Harald Frentzen 12th. Barrichello 13th. Jarno Trulli 14th. Fisichella 15th. Ralph Furman 16th. Jos Verstappen 17th. Jacques Villeneuve 18th. Antonio Pizzonia 19th. Justin Wilson 20th.
Here we are on the grid for the start of the 2003 German Grand Prix. We're starting from 6th, which is marvelous. The grid lineup is more or less fine, although I feel I should mention that everyone below Fisichella, including him, have been disqualified. And as we make our way into turn 1, I already gained 2 places. So that was a okayish start. As we now come into turn 2, Raikkonen has a look on the inside, so I give him enough room. And we have our first incident, as we are now rushing towards the hairpin. I have a look on the inside of Kimi Raikkonen, and we're back up in 4th. Looking good so far. But here is a replay of the start. Everyone's off, quite cleanly I should say, as I make my way around Button and Raikkonen. So overall, that was a pretty good start on my end. We are now on board with Rubens Barrichello, as he's coming into turn 2. He passes Frentzen, then taps the side of Heidfeld Sauber, and we are now on board with Fisichella as he comes into turn 2. Villeneuve decides to pass Furman, which he does, then he hits Fisichella just hard enough to break his rear wing. So we have our first retirement as we now come around to finish lap 1 of the German Grand Prix, and I think I can already see some spray coming off the rear of the cars in front, which makes sense since we are expecting some rain at some point. Here we are on lap 4, the track is starting to get quite wet now, which seems to be causing some issues for the AI. Meanwhile, I'm trying to find a way around David Coulthard, and I nearly lose the back end there. Anyway, let's see some replays. First we have Alonso in his Renault. He comes into the hairpin, my teammate clips the rear of the Renault, spinning it around, after which Barrichello comes around and drives straight into Alonso's car. Heidfeld then hits him as well, and we're now on board with Verstappen. He comes around the hairpin, and as Heidfeld rejoins the track, Verstappen makes contact with the Sauber. So that was an interesting development, and so is the fact that I almost overtook Coulthard. And now Raikkonen comes from behind and overtakes me. We cannot let this happen, so we need to start pushing a bit. As I'm now having a look on the inside of Kimi Raikkonen, and we're back in fourth. It's time I started pushing a bit harder. I want one of those podium points. They are just too good to pass up. As we come into the stadium section of lap 5, we have another incident somewhere behind us. So let's see what happened. We are now on board with Ralph Furman. As he comes into the hairpin, Verstappen clips the rear of the BAR, spinning it around. Furman has no time to react and crashes into Villeneuve's car. So that's a trip to the pits for Furman. Luckily for Furman, he doesn't have to retire unlike his teammate who did so on lap 1. And I take a bit too much of the curb just before the final corner of the lap. Luckily, Raikkonen was there to point me in the right direction. And here is another look at that little incident. We come out of the penultimate corner, mount the curb and actually dip my entire left side into the gravel trap, causing me to lose the car. But as luck would have it, Raikkonen was right there behind me. Luckily, my car is undamaged, which is even better. But I'm now having a look at David Coulthard, and we're up in third place. That's very good news. Towards the end of lap 8, as we were coming around to finish the lap, Montoya and Michael Schumacher peel off into the pits. This means that we will be taking the lead of the German Grand Prix. This is absolutely fantastic. Now let's try to put some distance between us. At the end of lap 11, I had to come in for fuel and tires, and I will be switching over to wet tires. The dry compound worked quite well until now, but in the last 2 laps or so, I started having some difficulties controlling the car, so it's prime time to switch over. This is going to be a relatively long stop since I am taking on a lot of fuel, a full tank's worth in fact. That's just enough to get me through the remaining 2/3 of the race. As now Michael Schumacher is coming around the final corner of the lap, that is a 14.4 second stop. Luckily the pit exit is just there, and I don't think Schumacher can overtake me. That's a resounding no. He was just too far behind me to be able to catch up and pass me. And so we get to keep the lead of the race, which is absolutely fantastic. Never would have thought though. Not in the rain anyway. Now, coming around the hairpin on my outlap, I've been informed of Button having some issues with his car. Meanwhile, I'm starting to build a gap on Schumacher. But here is a replay. Jenson Button is coming into turn 2. All seems fine at the moment. But then, just as he reaches turn 3, his engine bursts into flames. So that is it for my former teammate. Quite a pity, I really like Button. He's a very good driver in my opinion. Too bad he retired from Formula 1. I would have loved to see him compete in the new cars, which look absolutely amazing by the way. Can't wait for the season to get underway. Just one more week. Lap 19 and I've built a massive gap on Michael Schumacher by now. He's about 40 seconds behind, and it sounds like Barrichello retired. So let's see what happened. And here is the Ferrari of Barrichello coming into the pits with Raikkonen behind. He taps the rear of the Ferrari, sending it sideways, and it looks like the AI has no idea how to correct itself in the pits. That's kind of a weird thing to see, but I guess something similar happened at the end of quali when I showed you those two cars parked weirdly in the pits. Lap 26 and I'm nearly 1 minute ahead of Michael Schumacher, although to be fair, he did pit 3 times already. And now Montoya's retired, and here he is coming into the pit, so this is similar to what we had before. Not only that, but behind him is the West McLaren of Kimi Raikkonen, and as Montoya tries to pull into his pit box, Raikkonen clips the rear of the Williams and spins it around. That's the second time he's done that in the race. Surely he should be punished for that. I mean, come on. Okay, I understand once that could be a mistake, but twice? To me that looks intentional. But anyway, now coming around the final 2 corners of the race, Michael Schumacher has been catching up to me by a rate of around 3 seconds per lap, suggesting that I probably should have switched over to monsoon tires at some point. But that doesn't matter because I was so far ahead that it would have taken Schumacher at least 10 or so more laps before he could catch me. And so we win our first race of the season. It's a shame though that it had to come so late in the season. There's not much I can do now other than try and score some more points in the remaining races. so I can stay within the top 5. But this has been an absolutely amazing achievement, in the rain no less. It's very rare for me to win a race in the rain. I typically fall behind and struggle in the midfield. But not today it seems. With all that in mind, let's have a look at the standings.
It's been a fascinating German Grand Prix. Let's take a look at the final results. The Toyota driver first. Michael Schumacher second. Kimi Raikkonen third. David Coulthard fourth. Alonso fifth. Schumacher sixth. With the results confirmed, it's high time we updated the Drivers' Championship. Michael Schumacher moves up into first position to lead the Drivers' Championship.
Michael Schumacher takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship with 52 points. Coulthard is second with 50 points. Montoya third with 48 points. We are in fourth with 46 points. Alonso fifth with 44 points. Kimi Raikkonen is sixth with 38 points. Teammate Damata is seventh with 36 points. Ralf Schumacher is in eighth with 23 points. Heidfeld ninth with 20 points. Button and Furman share 10th with 16 points. Villeneuve is 11th with 15 points. In 12th we have Jenson Button with 14 points. In 13th with 9 points we have Mark Webber. Verstappen is 14th with 7 points. Fisichella 15th with 6 points. Frenton and Pizzonia share 16th with 5 points. And Barrichello is 16th with 3 points.
McLaren still lead the Constructors' Championship, but with a reduced points advantage. Toyota are second, followed by the third place Williams.
McLaren lead the Constructors' Championship with 88 points. Our team is second with 82 points. Williams third with 71 points. Ferrari are fourth with 55 points. In fifth we have Renault with 44 points. BAR are sixth with 31 points. Sauber seventh with 25 points. Jaguar are eighth with 22 points. Minardi ninth with 21 points. And in 10th we have Jaguar with 14 points. Finally, we managed to win a race in this season. Unfortunately, it came kind of late, and this might be the only victory we'll have all season. Our next race is the Hungarian Grand Prix, and as always I'm not looking forward to it at all. I don't really like that circuit, especially in this game. It feels way tighter than it should. But it's on the calendar so we can't skip it. And before I go, we once again reached that point in the season where I will have to ask you guys to vote for next season's team. You will find a link to a straw poll in the description box below this video where you can vote for your preferred team. Rules are the same as always, you can vote for any team you want as long as the team took part in the season. So unfortunately Penske or Hesketh are not on the list. Perhaps they will be some other time. But yeah, you can vote for any of the 10 teams that took part in the 2004 season, and just as always, if there will be a tie, I will break the tie by choosing the weaker of the teams. But we haven't had a tie last time, so I'm not really expecting one now. Anyway, until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay sharp.